Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a preview of the solo mode that is coming in Super Pixel Tactics from level 99, currently on crowdfunding. And as always, no disclaimer for crowdfunding coverage. We don't take any payment from publishers. I just want to help you make an informed decision. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. All right, so a bunch of disclaimers before this playthrough, because it's probably going to be kind of weird. So they were only able to send me one of the bosses, because that's the only one that has graphic design pretty much done. They've got a whole bunch of other bosses. And sorry, I'm kind of burying the lead here. So Super Pixel Tactics is currently on crowdfunding. This has historically been a 1v1 card game that I quite enjoy. It's not like at the top of my level 99 rankings like Exceed or Bullet, but very solid game. But it's never had a solo mode before, and now with Super Pixel Tactics, they are adding a solo mode. So this is the first boss in that solo mode, or one of the first bosses. And to give you kind of the idea of what's going on before I get into like the meat of the game that I can actually show you, let me talk about some stuff I can't show you. So this is a roguelike board game experience. It's supposed to emulate a little bit Slay the Spire in that you're like moving up a map and slowly encountering different enemies and also having like events and chances to make your deck stronger. And the big thing that I can't unfortunately like show you how it works at all in this video, but the big thing is that you start with a terrible deck with almost all of your characters being like these starter characters that don't have very many powers and are super weak. But as they fight bosses and die, they are permanently called from your decks. You actually might want to let them die on purpose. And then also, each time you battle, you use one of your good characters for their hero side. I'll talk about the actual mechanics of Pixel Tactics in a second. But whichever hero you use is also permanently called. So you might not want to use like your best hero for a given boss fight, because then you won't have them in your deck for the rest of the game. And then predictably, as you fight bosses, as you go along the map, you're going to get to add more like of these strong, real heroes to your deck. So you're kind of like deck building and also culling through death and leader usage as you go along to try to make the best combo-licious set of units that you can to beat the harder bosses. And they showed me, like again, the graphic design isn't done, but they showed me some of the later bosses and they are like insanely difficult. Now this guy, Trusivore, not insanely difficult. At least if this video goes like my previous play with him, I'm probably going to trounce him in like 10 minutes. It probably won't be a very long play. And that's especially the case because he's easy even with the regular decks you're supposed to play with. But they didn't send me like the easier deck that would fit the solo mode, like the thing you're supposed to start with, the starter deck. They sent me like a deck with all real, like powerful characters. So I'm basically playing a leveled up, souped up deck versus the most basic tutorial boss possible. So, again, I expect to trounce him solidly, but we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, that's kind of the spiel for what's going on in the solo mode that I can't show you. Now, let me actually show you how Pixel Tactics and Super Pixel Tactics work in gameplay, because what you are doing as a player is identical to the competitive game, pretty much. Just the boss does their own thing. Now, the first step in a fight of Super Pixel Tactics is to pick who your leader is going to be. So like I said, this is not the case for like the starter units, but for regular cards, every card has a hero side, and they've got like basic attack and life statistics up here. They've got a little name here. And then they've got 3 rows here and a 4th row here with an exclamation point. And those correspond to the locations units can be put. Actually, let me zoom out a little bit. So you've got the front row, which is called your vanguard. The middle row, which is called your flank, I think I want to say. And the back row, which is called something. Rear. Sorry, I had to look at the rule book. So vanguard, flank, rear. And you've got a maximum of 9 spaces, so 3 per row, to put your units in. And you'll be hitting each other, but the placements of units matters. Because first of all, how the turns go is one player has their vanguard turn, then the other player has their vanguard turn. One player has their flank turn, other player has their flank turn. Rear turn, repeat ad nauseum until one of you kills, your leader, who's always in the middle. So first one to defeat the leader wins. That's kind of like the basics of how the game goes. But each character is going to have majorly different powers based on which row they're in, or this 4th one is called an order. As an action on your turn, you can discard the card from your hand to resolve its order. It's kind of like a little event. And then again, everybody except the starter units also has a leader side where they have like an ongoing bonus that changes up majorly the way you play. So this game has variety for days. Like I only owned a few of the Pixel Tactics sets, and I think I had Mega Man Pixel Tactics since I love Mega Man. And yeah, even just those few sets just had so many wildly different units and ideas in there. But anyway, let's just jump in with those basics, and then I'll kind of talk you through the actual actions. So who do I want to use? I've got Hepzibah over here. That could be my leader. The advanced form of the witch. 3 attack, 20 life is pretty good, although again, this boss is pretty easy. And she interacts with corpses, which means heroes that have been killed in the fighting. When they get defeated, they just kind of stay in place and take up space in your fighting line, unless you take an action to get rid of them. But she can basically summon them as zombies or something and have them attack with strength 3, just bring the dead to life. So that's pretty cool. All right, then we've got the paladin here, 4 attack, 17 life. Move is a free action for you. Clear corpse is a free action for you. So normally you only get 2 actions per turn, as you'll see, and moving your units and clearing corpses is often at a high premium because you're using those actions instead of attacking, so that's pretty nice. This one's very interesting. Carolyn, I guess is how you pronounce that. These are, I think, all Indian characters from the Battle Con game. So 1 attack, 36 life. Crazy, but here's why. Whenever lethal damage would be applied to your heroes, you must apply the lethal portion of the damage to this leader instead. So basically, my heroes can't die, but everything extra they would take goes on her. So she definitely keeps people alive, which I would not really want in the roguelike mode, because remember, you want to kill your weaker guys so they aren't in your deck anymore. But pretty cool ability. And Cadenza, 4 attack and 20 life. Nice stats. Your heroes and leader take 1 less damage from attacks. So that's tankiness personified. And last option, Lixis Ronkanda. 2 and 17. While not in ceasefire, which is the first set of turns where you can't really attack each other, you're just putting out units. At the end of each of your turns, apply 1 damage to each rival hero and leader. Oh, wow. So she's just like a ticking bomb. So I think one of these two is the least interesting to me for keeping, because again, I'm trying to play like the game is actually meant to be played, where the roguelike elements and culling people matters. Now let's see how they look on the other side. So the paladin is a 4/6, which is only a 1/5. Front, they have intercept, which means they block range attacks that could otherwise arc over their head. In the middle, they can use an action to cast a spell and swap the position of 2 heroes or corpses in your unit. That's kind of interesting. And then at the back, they could use a spell to swap the position of 2 rival heroes or corpses. Although that doesn't work against the bosses. There are some abilities that don't work, so you just won't play the units there. And their order is freely rearrange heroes and record. So she just has movement effects. Okay, and then the witch. This hero has +1 attack strength for each corpse in all units. Oh, enemies and allies. If the forerunner, the person in front of her, is a corpse, she has +4 attack strength. That's pretty good. And then spell, clear all corpses in a single row in any unit. So just a lot of action economy. And return all corpses in a single row to their owner's hand. Wow. Yeah, you know what? Let's put the paladin out. Why not? All right, so she's going to be my leader. She goes right there in the middle. The rest of these peeps are my starting hand. And we go into the game with our first Vanguard turn. Now, usually in the competitive game, we switch off who's first player and who's second player. But in the solo mode, I'm always going to be first player. So I'll always go. And then we check for casualties, and then the Trucifor goes. And then it's me again, casualties, Trucifor, which is a slight change from the regular, if you're familiar with Pixel Tactics, way that the round goes, but not that different. So I'm going to take 2 actions, and then the Trucifor will take their action. It's not really 2. You'll see how they work. It's very straightforward. So what are my 2 actions? There are a whole bunch. The big one is I can draw a card if I don't already have 5 cards. So I currently have 4, so I could spend an action to do that. Recruit a hero lets me put a hero in the current row that's active. Clear a corpse we already talked about. Pass. Well, that's stupid. I can use the leader action if I have any, which my leader does not. I can play an order, which I already talked about was discarding the card from your hand. And then once per person in the currently active row, I can cast a spell if they have one. I can move them to another spot. I can switch them with somebody else, but that's a long action to take both my actions. Or the big one, I can attack. Then there are some other ones that don't apply in the set they sent me. But big thing is, during this first set of back and forth turns, the ceasefire, you can't cast spells, you can't attack, you can't really impact the other player at all. So pretty much I'm just going to be recruiting heroes and drawing, honestly. And let's zoom in a bit more, and let's see. Okay, so I want to get some people out. Knight seems pretty good for a front liner, right? He's got 3 attack, 10 defense. Now, the very important thing, I talked about intercept. So there's range attacking and melee attacking. I should discuss this before I kind of get into things. So most units have melee attacks, which means they can only attack if they are at the front of their given column. So let's say I have the knight here in the vanguard, and then I had my leader. Well, here, we'll move him over. And then I had my leader in the flank. The knight is blocking my leader from attacking. If instead you have range combat, you can shoot over people, and you can shoot anybody. Because additionally, these are the boss's parts that kind of act as cards. Additionally, melee attacks can only target the frontmost enemy of each column. So right now, only the heavy claw, plated belly, and shield claw can be attacked by by melee attacks. But now range attacks can predictably shoot over your own people and shoot over theirs, except for the intercept keyword. So if I had a range attack, I couldn't shoot over the shield claw to get to the acid tongue. I would have to shoot the shield claw first. So that's basically like the key thing you want to keep in mind as I consider where to put Nighty Boy here. I don't want to block Vanna because she's doing 4 all by herself. Okay, but he's here. He's got intercept to block behind him. And it says, when this hero is targeted by a hero's attack, apply 2 damage to the attacker. So I get to have some nice counterattack possibilities. And then should I just go for like full-on attack mode? I think I should. I'm going to put the homunculus also in the front, but also not blocking my leader. And look, +2 attack strength and intercept if they're in the vanguard, so they're going to be a 5. So I'm doing a lot of damage here. Although neither of my other 2 cards have ranged attack. Nobody has ranged attack, so I'm going to probably be drawing or something. All right, so that's it for my vanguard turn. Now, on the boss's turn each time, they get to roll a die to activate one of these. That's at the start of their action. And then their units will attack if able in the currently activated row. So they've got a heavy claw that attacks for 4, but their plated belly and shield claw are just defensive parts that are just hanging out. But in the ceasefire, they don't do anything, so I just go right back to me for the flank. Vanna's already here. Let's draw a card for my first action, see if I get lucky with somebody that has ranged attack. Ooh, Forerunner has intercept and Supporter has range attacks. Whoever I put behind them can do range attacks. What do they do? If Forerunner is a corpse, this hero is... we don't care about that. We don't want our people to die. Your leader takes 2 less damage from attacks. If the Alchemist is in the flank, that's not a terrible thing. Although if I put her in the rear, she can, as an action, cast a spell to apply 1 damage each to up to 5 different heroes. And that's just applying, not like worrying about normal targeting and stuff. That's super good. What if I put the Trapper in the back? Choose a rival. That rival discards 1 card at random. The boss doesn't have cards, so what happens instead is you just do 1 damage automatically, one of like their cores, like kind of targeting their leader automatically. Clear all corpses. Yeah, the witch is not doing much of anything for me right now, is she? And even like her order is not going to be useful until people die, which I don't really want to happen. So what if I put out the Trapper and then plan to put out the Alchemist in a second? And I can put like the Alchemist behind the Trapper to give them range attack, support this person directly behind. Now the Forerunner has intercept, that part doesn't matter. Okay, so that was 2 actions, the draw and the play. Boss doesn't do anything. And go into here, let's draw 1 more, see if we get some crazy option. Templar. Here has +1 attack strength for each damage on them. Not bad. Supporter takes no damage from attacks, so they just protect the person behind them. Or spell, swap this hero with another hero in your unit in melee, then make a melee attack with this hero. Okay. I mean, the big thing is I want to get them to the front and let them get hurt. So I'm going to do what I planned on and have the Alchemist back here for my second action, both to use her range attack, since this person given her range attack. Oh, wait, but she can only do an attack or cast a spell. Okay, so I'll try to get somebody else in the rear later, so I'm not wasting actions. But there we go. That gets us through the ceasefire. Now let's get to our first actual turn where we can do stuff and attack and get into the boss mechanics. All right, so now we come back around, and usually, again, in a competitive game, it would have switched, and they would be the first player going. But instead, it's going to be the Vanguard. Now we can attack, we can use actions, we can discard cards from our hand for orders, all that good stuff is available. But let's talk about the boss stats for a moment and what's kind of going on with them, because they're about to activate. So they've got attack and life, that's obvious, but they've also got this third stat, and how that works is, it's basically a regeneration stat. So if I kill this Heavy Claw, which takes 12 damage already, it's quite a lot, I put 4 life tokens over that to match the 4 here. And then each time it would activate, it instead regenerates 1 of those. And when it's finished regenerating, it comes back and it's like blocking other attacks again. It's going to start hitting me again. Same thing with the Shield Claw. It only takes 4 life and it's intercepting. It doesn't actually attack. It's kind of sitting there blocking me from attacking the Acid Tongue behind it. But once I kill it, it's going to regenerate in 3 activations. But something like the Plated Belly, which doesn't attack, just takes damage, although it has no intercept, so I actually can go back behind it to the Gilded Teeth. That one will never regenerate, so if I kill that, it's gone. And it's going back a little bit more in the flank row. He's got Gilded Teeth, which are just intercepting for his heart. That's what I got to kill to win. And then Acid Tongue's going to attack for 3 damage ranged, and I'll explain how their targeting priorities work in a moment when they actually attack. But then it also casts a spell to deal 1 damage to each hero in this column. Oh, well, she's got 7 life. She'll be okay. And then in the back, we've got the Rammy Horn, which is going to attack for 5 damage, but it's non-lethal. which means basically they can't finish one of my people off. And then the thing we actually got to kill is the heart, which has 20 life. If we do 20 damage to it, we win. And some bosses will have a couple of those. That's kind of like their leaders. You might have to kill multiple parts to beat them. And they will, this is a pretty important one to know about, when they activate, if there's a player hero in melee, so in the front of one of my rows, one of my columns, with 2 or fewer life, defeat it and regen a part. So we take away one of those things. So I don't want to leave my characters with only 2 life left. Now again, I have these souped up super characters that normally you would not have, so that's not going to be as easy for him to accomplish, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm getting 2 actions. So let's see. I could have him attack for 3. I could have her attack for 5. I mean, those seem like good things to do. Ooh, and I could actually take out the acid tongue by chaining those together, couldn't I? Let's do that. So I'm going to attack with the homunculus, +2 attack because she's in the vanguard. So she's doing 5 to the shield claw, which is enough to kill it. So boop, boop, boop. It is dead, so it's no longer blocking melee. Now the acid tongue is in the front of its column. It's no longer blocking range attacks. And let's just follow it up with a boom, a 3 attack from our knight. So acid tonguey boy has a 4 regen. Going to take a little while before they get to do anything, hopefully. But that's it for my actions. Let's get to their vanguard and how the boss activates. And before they resolve their people, which goes left to right, you roll on their order thing. Now, this is 1, 2, 3. I think it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But yeah, you just roll a d6 and divide it. So a 1 to 2 is spray acid. Oh, God, deal 1 damage to every one of my heroes. Now, not my leader, just my heroes, but that's everybody, including my little wimpy alchemist back here. And remember, if anybody's at 2 life or less, that heart can auto-kill them. And I don't have any healing at the moment. Darn. Okay, and then they activate their people. Now, the Heavy Claw is the only one that's actually going to attack for 4, and it's attacking melee. And I get to pick, I have free choice of where they attack, which is actually an interesting choice because, the first obvious one would be to maybe attack the knight. They have a ton of life, and when they are targeted by a hero's attack, they do 2 damage back. But alternatively, I could just tank it on my leader because, they've got 17 life. But now let's use the knight's power and go ahead and get them down to 5 life left. And that'll hit the Heavy Claw for 2. Okay, and then the Shield Claw, instead of activating, they are 2 away from coming back. Although I don't really care because all they're doing is blocking attacks on the Acid Tongue, and that boy's already hurt. All right, we're going to the flank phase. My leader can attack for 4. Trapper can't do anything, can she? Let me look at the orders of a Templar. Any hero who attacks or did attack your unit with a melee attack during this wave is defeated. Ooh, wow. So I could have had the Heavy Claw be auto-killed for attacking me. Maybe I'll do it next time. By the way, a wave is like 1 turn with both areas in a given thing. So like flank, rear, vanguard, you get it. That's right. And the witch is the corpse one. Okay, so let's draw a card. Right, let's draw a card. We got the Oracle. She can look at a rival's hand and discard 1 card from it, which again will just do 1 damage to the boss. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reorder them. And you may look at the top card of your deck anytime you like. Discard your hand and draw the same number of cards you discarded +1. I like that a lot. But, I mean, I don't want to waste the 4 damage I can do here, so let's do that first. So it is a melee, so I can hit the plated belly to eventually get to the gilded teeth and the heart, or I can go after the Heavy Claw. But since I've got that, auto-kill power that I didn't realize, I think I'll start hitting the plated belly to make my way to the actual heart of the boss. Okay, so that was 2 actions. We go to them, and they're rolling again, so they do a lot of these things. Shoot, another acid spray? So my alchemist is already in danger of dying. It's going to be a problem. Shoot. But then in terms of actual activations, they just remove that from the Acid Tongue, which still has 3 more to go. By the way, if they rolled a 3 to 4, they would get rid of 1 death token from every killed thing, so the Acid Tongue would come back way faster. And if they rolled a 5 or 6, then I have to discard a card at random, otherwise my leader takes 2 damage. I would rather have those than this stupid acid spray over and over. All right, now we're at the Alchemist. That's right, so she can deal 1 damage each to up to 5 different heroes. Heroes, though, not leaders, so not the heart. Now, 2 are dead, so I could hit the plated belly, the Heavy Claw, the gilded teeth, the heart, not the heart, and the rammy horn. Now, is that better than her just doing a 2 ranged attack straight to the gilded teeth? Because the plated belly doesn't have intercept. The Heavy Claw doesn't either. Yeah, no, I think I'll use her spell. Okay, so I'll do 1 damage to every single living part except the leader. And again, that ignores intercept and everything. And then to set up for next turn, I think I'm going to use the Oracle. So I'll play this to discard my hand and draw the same number of cards you discarded. So I'm just getting 3 new cards. Summoner. Okay, they let me get units back and draw cards, or I can just search my deck for something. Priestess is a healer. Going to be a little bit too late. Oh, actually, wait. Return a corpse to life. Oh, so I could bring my Alchemist back, maybe. And then, oh man, Fighter just hits people hard. +2 attacks. Oh, geez. I was like, +2 attack strength, +4 attack strength. Oh, wait a second. So these are set up so that like it's really hard to get this to work because they're a melee fighter. So yes, they can do 8 damage, but they would need to be in the back row without anybody in front of them in their column. But hey, if we let Alchemist die, suddenly Trapper gives range attack to the person behind them. We can have an 8 range attack fighter in a... Oh yeah, this is great. So Alchemist, maybe you're not going to survive. I'm sorry. By the way, I don't want to forget my powers. Move is a free action. But I mean, if I move somebody, I wouldn't be able to attack with them. And so far, actually, Trapper, I guess I could move. Oh, I could actually move the Trapper for free if I didn't kill the Alchemist and then put them in a different spot for somebody else to get their bonus. Well, anyway, let's see what Trusivore does. Player must discard a card at random. Oh no, don't discard the cool thing I wanted to play. Okay, actually, Priestess is not great, but there she goes. Okay, then the Rammy Horn is again doing 5 damage, which can't kill somebody, but it'll obviously leave them vulnerable to the heart. And I don't want to kill the Knight. I can just take it on my leader, right? They haven't taken a single point of damage yet. 5 out of 17 is not so bad. But then the heart does chomp, chomp, chomp. How does a heart kill you? The Alchemist, so she is a little corpse over there. Sadness. But hey, guess what? Free action to clear that away. And again, this would be called from my deck in the roguelike mode forever. So I would never... Actually, Alchemist is a good card. That sucks. So there's a lot more to think about, like in kind of the campaign mode when you have all that to play with. Oh, no, actually, I am lying slightly. I do want to clarify this because, like, in case I had things I could do. So in the solo game, the order of the round's a little bit different because, like, people don't die immediately. You check if they have fatal damage at a certain point. In competitive, it's different. I think it's at the end of the entire wave when, like, both people in a wave have gone. But in solo, you check after each of your turns, but not after the boss turns. So you get to benefit from killing boss units right away, so they won't get to activate in the given wave. But your own units, like, you have a final chance, like, in the next turn if they got killed by the boss to save them. Now, again, I don't have anything to do that would help the Alchemist not die. But yeah, technically she's not a corpse yet, which actually does kind of matter because I can't clear her when I might want to. All right, we're back to these boys. Plated Belly has 7 left. Heavy Claw has 9. Jeez. Although 5 plus 3 is 8, that would take out the Plated Belly, and then my boss would be able to go after the Gilded Teeth before they can do anything. I like that. And yeah, I don't want to... Oh, I could return somebody to my owner's hand. That's kind of cool. But, I mean, they don't do enough damage. By the way, this power is interesting. Choose a column. Apply 5 damage to every hero in that column in all units, so like my side and theirs. So you could, like, set up for that specifically so that you had nobody there and then just do a ton of damage. But yeah, let's do the very basic thing. Homunculus attack for 5. Knight attack for 3. It's 8, 9, 10, 13. So the Plated Belly is 100% dead. I don't really have a token for this. Blah, I think it's like a little skull token. You're dead. Again, like prototype, very early in development. Not everything is done. So that was it for me. What are you going to do, bossy boss? You're going to acid spray me again. Fun. Okay, 1. And, Homunculus is down to 4. Trapper is ready to get hearted. And, whoops, Alchemist is already a corpse after my turn. But I want the Trapper to get killed by the heart. The whole idea was to get them, get my fighter guy going. Shoot. Okay, then the Heavy Claw is hitting somebody for 4. That would kill the Homunculus. It would kill the Knight, but would also let them get a hit back. Where I go on my leader, who would be at 9 out of 17. We can take it. We can take it. By the way, it's going to be hilarious if I was, like, bragging about how strong my cards are and how easy the first boss is, and then I, like, lose or almost lose. The first time I played, I definitely got some, like, really powerful combos off the bat and crushed them. Although I did use, like, one of the best leaders in the game to do it, which means it would have been called for my deck, which I didn't know at the time. So yeah, maybe I'm slightly exaggerating how easy the game is, even from the beginning. All right, so I'm here. Vana can hit for 4 and get the Gilded Teeth, so the heart will be exposed. Oh, but let's use a free action to get rid of the what was it? Corpse. So that space is free now. So that was free because of my power. Let's draw one. Scientist. Lets me draw cards. Another hero in this unit makes a melee attack. Oh, so we can just, like, do extra melee attacks? That's pretty awesome. Gain 3 additional actions this wave as an order. That's great, too. Okay, yeah, getting him in the back along with the fighter seems like the way to go. Okay, so that was a card draw. What else do I want to do? I'm going to get out the summoner. I think I'm just going to draw another card. Sure. Mascot. 1/4. Another Vanguard hero makes a melee attack. Another flank hero makes a range attack. Another rear hero in this unit makes a range attack. Wow. Oh, that's awesome. Gosh, if I got him out with the fighter, I could, like, double up 8 damage attacks. I don't have time for all this stuff, but it'd be cool. All right, we're coming to their flank, and it's the discard a random one. That's okay. Just don't get rid of the... Oh, my mascot. Oh, well. But I'm not taking damage, at least. And then the Gilded Teeth don't do anything. And the Acid Tongue is 2 turns from coming back and doing a ton of damage. And now we go to the rear. And something I didn't mention is that you basically have Summoning Sickness for units. So even if I bring out this fighter right now, I can't immediately do the cool thing I want to do with them. Oh, wait a second. Did I forget to attack with the boss? Shoot, why'd I draw 2 cards? Oh, well, too late. So yeah, let's get the... the scientist doesn't really work. Oh, another hero in this unit makes a melee attack, so it could be anybody. So yeah, the scientist is great. We'll put them there, sure. Okay, and then, I'm actually hoping for the spray acid. I'll explain why in a second. Yes! Okay, cool. So why did I want that bad result? Because I want the trapper to stay alive, although now 1 spray acid would kill them long enough to give the fighter that, bonus thing. And now the knight is eligible to take the heart attack. Sadness for the knight's dying, but so it goes. Oh, gosh, I forgot about the Rammy Horn doing 5. Ugh. Can my leader tank it? That would leave me with only 3 left. Actually, here, could I have the knight take it and then get killed by the heart since he's dying anyway? I think maybe because he didn't die right away. So yeah, we'll say he takes 9 or 5 more damage. And then the heart. Oh, I forgot the heart regens something. And I forgot to take a regen off the shield claw. So the heart, let's say that he regen the shield claw after he ate somebody. And then the shield claw would be fully back now. And then now when he's doing this, the acid tongue only has 1 more left to go. And Nighty Boy, well, he's not quite dead yet, but he's about to be. Which sucks. That's a strong card. Yeah, this whole people dying and not coming back thing is pretty rough for the roguelike. That's okay. We're going to go ham on these guys. Oh, he's dead. We're going to go crazy on these peeps and kill them in just a moment. So let's do a free corpse clearing. Homunculus going to attack for 5. Which kills forever the Gilded Teeth. Should have done that with the boss. So now the heart is exposed. It's got to do 20 damage to him. But dang, what do I do for my second action? I mean, if people stay alive, the trapper... Oh, now we can both attack for 4, so that's 8. This guy's 8, and this guy lets somebody else make a melee attack, which could be the homunculus. So that's 8, 16, 21. I mean, yeah, we can wipe the boss this turn if nothing horrific dies. So actually, but that being the case, if I throw the summoner down, then I block other people from being able to attack. So I was thinking I could just tank the damage from the heavy claw if I threw this guy down. Well then, whatever, we'll draw a card. Okay, and then they're coming. Please don't acid spray me. Oh, discard a card. Totally perfect. That's great. Oh, sorry, I didn't show. It was the doppelganger I just drew. And the shield claw is not doing anything even though they're regenerated. All right, so let's go smackety smack. 4 damage, 8 damage. Justice for the knight. There we go. We need 12 more. All right, so what are they going to do? They are going to... Oh, discard another card. Fine. I don't have to take any damage on my leader. And Acid Tongue is regenerated, but doesn't get to attack this turn. And that's going to be all she wrote, baby, because Fighter, who has a ranged attack and +4 attack strength, attacks for 8 all by himself. And then Scientist casts a spell to have any other hero in this unit make a melee attack, which will be Homunculus for 5 more. So that's 13, 16, 19, 21. 1 over what we needed. But yeah, geez, kind of forget what I said about things being easy. I permanently lost 2 super solid units, and I would lose... she had sort of a weird power, at least in this battle. But she's also a solid... Yeah, I don't know. That was a little rough in terms of how I played that. But there you go. If any of you are curious about what the solo mode in Super Pixel Tactics is going to look like, that gives you a taste. Like I said, they have a bunch of the bosses designed, and they have the little stages you move through to unlock things and how you recruit new heroes and stuff. But this was the only one with graphic design. But hey, yeah, you saw even this one was more of a challenge than I thought it would be. And again, it's not necessarily about winning or losing. You're often going to win on these easier bosses, but at what cost? Which cards are you going to be killing from your deck? And usually you have a ton of these cruddy cards that you want to die kind of, so that you draw your newer, shinier cards more often. But yeah, once you get awesome cards, do you want to let them die too? So it should be a nice, tense play mode. And I think the variety, as I already mentioned, of Pixel Tactics, yes, it can be a little bit intense to see all the possibilities with the cards you draw. But if you dig into the game, that's where the depth and replay and fun come in. So I think it's a great game system, and I'm very happy to see they have such a cool solo mode. It's certainly not a tacked-on thing at all. This is a whole new way to play, and I love it. So check out the crowdfunding campaign. It is currently ongoing. And thanks for watching, especially our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Miles, Wayne Scott, and Steve Wren. We'll see you at the next stop.